PvP in Hurtworld is made out of 3 main categories. 1. Melee combat, 2. Combat with a bow, 3. Shooting with firearms, and of course any wild mixture between those categories. Guns in Hurtworld are currently nothing more than stand, aim, shoot and win, so we won't bother to deal with this category till new content comes out which will add some depth into it. Melee combat on the other hand is very useful and should be used in a combination with a bow, but as long as you are good with a bow and learn its advanced techniques, you will have no problems of adapting those with a melee weapon. Combat with a bow is a king's discipline in Hurtworld, and it is an art form by itself. Highly rewarding, has low access as bows and arrows are very cheap to make, and is a very high skill capped. You can win engages when outnumbered and outgunned, and you will be able to farm players instead of resources. By the way, if you find this guide helpful or interesting, please subscribe now to my YouTube channel. Thanks. 3 mechanics needs to be mastered for you to become the Arrow / Wilhelm Tell / Robin Hood of Hurtworld. First, aim. Well, that is kind of obvious, right? You have to simply train this aspect to get a feeling on how high and far ahead you need to aim to make your arrows connect. My recommendation is to host and connect to your private Hurtworld server. I will link a guide on that in the description which was made by Wild Jester, and train against animals. My additional advice on these topics would be: never shoot if you aren't convinced you will hit, especially on the first engage, the draw sound will warn them, and aim for the body when you start training on bows. A hit is more likely and has a psychological impact to your enemy. They get nervous, you have a higher chance of winning. Second, Monumentum, which is a combination of your movement, shooting and doing everything to keep movement at the highest speed possible and avoiding downtimes like the plague. 2A. When hostile players are running after you, you should never ever turn around and backpedal to have a look behind you. Always jump, execute a 180 degrees turn, check what is going on and turn back before landing. Also possible is to jump, turn by 180 degrees, check what's going on and execute a bunny hopping at your landing and turn with the next jump back forward. This behavior will allow you to move at full speed and deny your enemies the easy way of catching up. When not in combat, simply looking around is the best option as it is the quietest one, and jumping noises could give away your concealed approach. 2B. Get rid of the bad habit of jumping in one-on-one bow fights. Yes, you heard right. Jumping is in 80% of the situations bad for you. A good player will wait for the moment where you are going to jump to finish you off with a headshot or wear you down with a body shot when you're landing. The problem with jumping is that once you are in the air, you have no control over your movement anymore. Your enemy can pre-aim the location where you're going to land for a very easy shot. It is true that when you jump you can draw your bow while moving at full speed, which is good, and you should utilize that. But if you time it wrongly with his draw-shoot routine, you are most likely dead. Of course, you have again the option to bunny hop directly after landing and shooting, but the landing is where your opening is going to get you in many cases. A far easier and more efficient way to avoid his shots is to sprint around him. Use zigzag mode when you hear his bow about to be fully drawn and create distance or close the gap with a straight line before or while he is drawing his bow. The third mechanic waiting for you to master is reading your opponent, or more precise, reading his rhythm. It is not surprising that 90% of all players in Hurtworld, and actually all games, will fight always the same way and have the same execution in an engagement. The reason for that is that when being excited or nervous, you tend to automatically just execute a certain behavior. You are so content with dealing with a situation that you are not able to do any cognitive processes. And this has something to do with the human evolution and survival instincts. The only way to fight that is to train and gain experience in something. You need to know when your opponent is releasing his arrow, so you can zigzag or jump out of harm's way and start drawing your bow earlier than your opponent. Keep your bow fully drawn, and waiting for the right moment can totally screw with better players and their rhythm. They know that if they slow down and start drawing themselves, they have a significant disadvantage. You will be able to shoot first while he's stationary, and that should be the end of the duel. 3B. As long as you are not in a bow training session, you should always switch between melee and range attacks. Having the bow in your hand while someone else is wielding a spear or an axe in your direction in close combat ain't fun at all. And again, entirely mess with your opponent's rhythm. Once you get someone off balance, he will get nervous, and as a consequence, his aim will be wary. Now you know all three mechanics for fighting with bow. However, keep in mind that every aspect is an optional mechanic, a tool if you want, not forced behavior. Don't be that guy who jumps and is all over the place to finally shoot himself in the head because he has no control.